In just 1 year, Mantra's Ohm token surged from just 20 cents to nearly $9, a 4,500% pump, becoming a breakout star in the real-world assets narrative. But overnight, it all unraveled. The Ohm token price dropped over 90% in value, trading at as low as 30 cents. Panic, rage, accusations. The crypto world watched it burn. So what happened? In this video, we will talk about Ohm's meteoric rise, its catastrophic collapse, the CEO's response before we uncover the truth behind the crash. My name is Dale, and welcome back to...
If you know what I mean.
Crypto Ninjas. Mantra marketed itself as a gateway to tokenizing real-world assets like real estate and bonds on-chain. Big vision, strategic partnerships, and a consistent message brought Ohm from under $1 to $9. For a while, it looks like they could do no wrong, but then came the crash. Around April 11th, people on X detected large amounts of Ohm token being deposited on OKX, about $227 million worth, but nobody really cares about it. The CEO later even admitted knowing about these transactions himself, but he didn't think too much of it.
So I was aware that, tokens were starting to be put on exchange, because obviously when tokens get put on exchange, a lot of people call me, but I was not aware that there was any sort of precipitous potential liquidation going to be occurring.
But oh boy, was he wrong. On April 13, Ohm price plummeted from around $6 to just 40 cents within hours. That's more than 90% drop. I mean, look at this. What?
Bruh.
Retail investors were devastated. Some lost their entire savings, millions of dollars. And the reaction from the community was swift and brutal. And people started accusing Binance and OKX too, because there were large transfers of Ohm token from Binance to OKX, well, possibly for dumping. The anger was real and it was growing because this was supposed to be the #1 top real-world asset project. And then in the middle of these FUDs, there were these rumors about some mysterious OTC deals, price manipulation, and whales secretly dumping their bags. In response to the chaos, Mantra CEO JP Mollin took the stage and went on a PR blitz. He joined multiple interviews, including the one with CoffeZilla, a YouTuber known for exposing scams, to defend the project and shed light on what happened. And here's what JP revealed. Number 1, the team and the market makers did not sell any tokens. Number 2, the reasons behind the crash could be because of bad market sentiment and leverage positions being liquidated by exchanges. Number 3, the Mantra team had no leverage positions that got liquidated, so basically saying the team had nothing to do with this crash. Number 4, there were indeed some off-chain OTC deals being made to raise funds, but these OTC tokens were still locked. No one had access to them. Number 5, yes, the team did use some of the funds from the OTC deals to buy back Ohm tokens on open market, but JP also added it was to support the market, not manipulate the price.
This is not a buyback to pump. This is more of a make sure that it can be supported.
Still, when being asked whether those buybacks did influence the chart, JP admitted.
This is going to be used to enter the market over the next, you do a TWAP over 30 days or something like this.
That would have a positive effect on price though, right? Like if you're just saying hey, put in
it could
2 million for 30
it could
days,
potentially. It could potentially, yes.
It would though. wait. It definitely would. If you put $10 million in, it's gonna have a positive impact on price.
Fair enough. That's
Okay.
right.
So there we go. The Mantra team actively sold tokens over the counter, took the money and bought back Ohm tokens on open markets to artificially manipulate the price of Ohm going up. But they were pumping the price up, not down. So what caused the crash? At the start of 2024, the Ohm's market cap was only around $50 to $70 million. So these buybacks of tens of millions of dollars, coupled with thin liquidity of Ohm at the time, pumped the price up tenfold. This attracted even more investors to buy ohm, which pumped the price even higher to around $9 at the all-time high in 2025. But again, if everything is pumping up, then what caused the crash? Is it the OTC investors who got their hands on cheap tokens in early 2024 and later sold the token at the all-time high in 2025? Well, no, because JP said all of those tokens were still locked until this day. Nobody got their hands on the tokens, so they couldn't possibly sell. So is it the market makers then? Well, also negative, because as you can see, all of the market makers' wallets are public, and it seems like all of the ohm tokens are still there. So who then? So that led us to the main reason: leverage liquidations, or so they said. As ohm price soared, it became collateral. JP said throughout the years, institutions and whales must have bought large amounts of ohm on open markets and used it for leverage positions across exchanges. But when ohm price dipped due to market bearish sentiment, it triggered automatic liquidations, which caused a chain reaction, forcing more sells and deeper drops. So as you can see, a feedback loop begins. The price drops, triggers more liquidations, which then results in more sell pressures and leads to even deeper crash. It is estimated that the size of these liquidations must be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So this could not be from one person. It must be from groups of investors who got liquidated, unfortunately. But who are these investors? Up until this point, Mantra could not identify these people. I mean, it must be easy, right? Can you just ask the exchange like Binance and OKX like, hey, who got liquidated and how that happened? Well, that is the part that I don't understand. Binance and OKX haven't told the team anything. Are they trying to actively hide the identity of these whales and liquidations who got liquidated? Is it because there were no whales and no institutions in the first place, and it was Binance and OKX behind this crash orchestrated the whole thing? Because if you really look at it, isn't it weird that these liquidations of hundreds of millions of dollars, large size, happened almost at the same time at such aggressive pace when the CEO of Mantra was asleep? Well, I mean, that was just some theories I found online, so nothing is certain right now, okay? Personally, I don't think Binance and OKX are responsible for this, because these forced closure or liquidations are, pretty much automatic, and it happens to anyone. Especially in bearish market sentiment and you using like a pretty high leverage, well then, yeah, you're gonna be liquidated pretty quickly, if you're not careful, of course. Up until this point, there seems to be no one to blame. It was just a series of unfortunate events. Or is it? Then came the wild card, Mr. P, a mysterious figure who allegedly offered $45 million in ohm OTC deals just 48 hours before the crash. He also claimed to use a looping strategy: buy OTC, inject the funds to pump the price, then dump for profit. Sounds familiar? Because this was the exact method that the Mantra's team and their market makers used with their OTC deals. So how could this mysterious Mr. P, one, knew about the crash 48 hours before so he could try and sell the $48 million worth of his own token, and two, knew the exact strategy that the Mantra's team and their market makers used? Later on, CoffeZilla confronted Mr. P and he claimed to run his own market making firm, but he denied ever market makered for Mantra or ohm token. But then on previous messages, he self-claimed to be able to mint the ohm token. So that means he must be involved with the team, or at least the market makers for the ohm token, right? So this guy was clearly lying. So is Mr. P the one to blame for all of this? Is he the secret market maker that the ohm team didn't even know about because he was using an alias, Mr. P? But then there was no solid proof of this. JP denied knowing any Mr. P and said that there was no Mr. P in any of their agreements.
You know somebody named Mr. P or Ite Drori?
So I did check with our team if we've ever heard of this name before, and we've never heard of that name before. I checked all the SAFs and all the agreements. We don't have an agreement with an ETI.
So it must be some random whales with $45 million worth of OHM tokens and knows everything about their strategy then. What a coincidence. And that's it. The OHM price crash wasn't just a simple rug, it was a complete mix of opaque OTC deals, price manipulation, leverage greed, combined with communication failure when it mattered the most. Can Mantra recover from this? Well, even though they promised to keep on building and delivering and be more transparent from here on out and even burn their tokens, once you lost the community's trust, it is no recovery, alright? At least for a long time. Personally, I don't think OHM can recover to its all-time high price anytime soon, but who knows, given the right incentives, market sentiments, real world asset trend coming back and some crazy development progress by the Mantra team, OHM price could potentially gain back some of its valuation and the price could potentially go up to like $2-3 at the end of 2025. But obviously, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. So, what do you think? Is this OHM crash caused by malicious actors, or is just a series of unfortunate liquidations? Could OHM recover to its previous heights and glory days, or this is the end for Mantra? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to Crypto Ninjas for more contents like this. Remember to use our referral links for 20% off of your trading fees for life. And I'll see you in our next video. Daily out.